recently bought a new watch and I had the worst buying experience ever. I placed the order over 2 months ago now. I still don't have the watch and I still don't have my money back. Now, I'm not somebody who typically complains about things. I kind of just suck it up and move on with my life. But I honestly think the customer service has been that poor here that you guys deserve to know about it. I also found out some new information whilst making this video that makes this story very interesting. Hello there, my name's Kieran. Welcome to Top Tier Ticker. I hope you're having a good day. Quick wristwatch check. I'm wearing the AP Air Invenire ERB, a made in Great Britain watch. I'll be covering this in a video very soon. But today, I'm going to tell you about the watch that I tried to buy, which business I tried to buy it from, and why my experience was so bad. My goal here, by the way, isn't to trash the authorized dealer who I tried to buy the watch from, simply to share my experience with you guys so that you can decide whether you want to shop there in the future. So, what was my new watch going to be? Well, it's one that I've had my eye on for years now, and one that I've technically owned in the past. I've wanted to pick up a Laco for my collection for as long as I can remember. I've never really been a big pilot's watch guy. I'd consider myself more of a field watch fan, but I think Laco makes some cool pieces at some very impressive prices. And I don't currently have a made in Germany watch in my collection, and that was a box that I kind of wanted to tick. Laco, of course, are one of the original 5 watch brands that made the Flieger for the Luftwaffe during World War II. So this is a watch with genuine history in this department, which is why it appeals to me so much. However, I have personally owned the Laco Augsburg, but I had the larger 42mm version. And for regular viewers, you'll know that 42mm is a bit too big for my 6.5-inch wrist. So I've had my eye set on the Laco Aachen in 39mm for quite some time now. I also wanted to get the blue dial version, just to add a little bit of colour to my collection. Now, because this is a smaller watch brand, I don't really have much choice where I can buy this watch from. I can either order directly from Germany to the UK, which means I will have to pay import duties and taxes because, well, Brexit happened, or alternatively, I can buy from a UK authorised dealer. And it does make more sense to order one from a UK authorised dealer, because the watch will end up being about £100–150 cheaper than importing it from Germany. And this is where the awful buying experience started. There are 2 official Laco sellers here in the UK, CW Sellers and First Class Watches. I decided to go with CW Sellers because I have bought a watch from them before. I bought my Tissot PRX from them a couple of years back, and I didn't have a problem with that purchase, although that was a watch that they already had stock of ready to be sold, which wasn't the case here with the Laco. Browsing the CW Sellers catalogue, they had some Laco models in stock, some not, but they didn't even have the blue 39mm Aachen listed on the website on the bracelet. So I emailed them asking if it was possible for them to get hold of one for me. The very next day, they called me up and they sold me the watch over the phone. They told me that although they don't stock every single Laco model themselves, they can simply order one from Laco for me, which is brilliant for me because it means I don't have to pay any import duties or taxes on the watch. So they drafted up an invoice for that watch for me, and then they sent over the invoice on the same day. Now, this was the 17th of September, so over 9 weeks ago at the time of making this video. Now, my invoice said that this watch would take, quote, 2 to 4 weeks to receive the watch. The salesman on the phone claimed that it would be closer to 2 than 4, but said that this was just a cautious estimate. Now, I didn't mind waiting that 2 to 4 week time estimate anyway, so I paid the invoice on the same day and I began patiently waiting for my new Laco. Little did I know, I'd be waiting for quite a while. The first 2 weeks had passed, no watch. But that was expected, right? 3 weeks passed, no watch. So I assumed it would be delivered within the next week as stated on the invoice. In the 4th week, still no delivery or even an email update. So I decided to email them and ask them for an update on the situation. They said that the watch would take a further 1 to 2 weeks for delivery. So I patiently waited another 2 weeks and still no watch. At this point, it had been 6 weeks since placing my order and I still didn't have the watch. And again, no email update regarding anything going on. So I had to email them asking for more information again. CW Sellers said, quote, "We are still waiting for a delivery date from Laco. I don't have any further information regarding delivery." So even though they could provide me a delivery date at first, now they're saying we can't provide you a delivery date at all. They literally had no clue when the watch was going to arrive. So I of course emailed back. I said, that just doesn't make any sense. Give Laco a call and ask them. You have a direct line of communication with them as you're an authorized dealer. I then said, I'd like you to process a refund for this order. I'll order it directly from Laco myself. Then I waited again, just for a single reply to my email. It took them a full week to get back to me. Yes, 7 days. CW Sellers then said, quote, "This piece is still in production and the brand is unable to advise an accurate delivery date." Then they didn't issue the refund as requested. Instead, they offered me a £17 discount on the watch to keep it on a back order. I honestly thought that was pretty offensive. But let's go back to that last part. This piece is still in production. So CW Sellers is placing the full blame on Laco here. They're claiming that it isn't their fault, it's Laco's. Now this bit really did confuse me because the watch was in stock on the Laco website and said estimated delivery date 2 to 3 days. How could it possibly still be in production when Laco are claiming that they can get the watch to you so quickly? Either Laco is lying about having the watches in stock, or CW Sellers is lying about the watch still being in production. Who do we believe here? So I decided to get in touch with Laco myself and find out what's going on. Did they have stock? Was the order ever placed? And what they said to me will definitely shock you. Marcel from Laco said, quote, "Dear Kieran, thanks for your mail. We are very sorry about the situation with our UK retailer CW Sellers and the inconvenience caused by your order. We would like to reassure you that the Laco Akon Blue Stunday 39mm is in stock and can be dispatched as soon as we receive payment from CW Sellers. We work with CW Seller exclusively by prepayment, so this is definitely not a Laco matter. We can confirm that. So in case you do expect the watch pretty soon, the order by CW Sellers should be cancelled and a new order directly from Laco can be generated. Kind regards, Marcel." How juicy is that? Laco confirmed that the watch is in stock and that it would be dispatched as soon as CW Sellers placed the order. So the question is, why didn't CW Sellers just place the order? Anyway, I replied to CW Sellers declining their £17 discount and I asked for a full refund again. And finally, 2 days later, they processed the refund. As of the time of recording, it's been 11 days and I still don't have my money back. And it turns out that their refunds take just as long as ordering my Laco. But I felt like I should share the information that Laco gave me with CW Sellers to see what they have to say about what Laco said. After all, Laco has basically called them a liar for their production claims here. So I emailed them again. I showed them the same information that I showed you guys a minute ago. I then told them that I was going to make a YouTube video talking about my poor experience here. And I offered them the right of reply, stating, quote, "I'll include your point of view for fairness." But CW Sellers haven't emailed me back, except for an email trying to sell me a Gucci bracelet. Now this is where I need your experience. Tell me in the comments if you've ever shopped with CW Sellers. Good or bad, let us know. Even if you bought a watch from them and everything went smoothly, put it down in the comments. Alternatively, if you did have a bad experience with CW Sellers, put that down in the comments too. I'm genuinely interested to see what everybody's experience has been like with them and to see if anyone's had a similar experience to me. As for the Laco, well, I'm going to order it when I do eventually get my money back from CW Sellers. Turns out that trying to save on the import duties and taxes just wasn't worth it in the end. And as for CW Sellers, well, I certainly won't be shopping there in the future. My main problem with this whole process was just the lack of communication. I had to ask them for updates on my order constantly, even though it was them that was struggling to fulfill it. The final straw was when they was unable to give me an estimated delivery date, didn't issue my refund when I requested it, then offered me a £17 discount, and that was shockingly bad customer service. Share your thoughts down below and I'll catch you in the next one, guys. Bye for now.